Hello everyone, welcome again to another video. Thank you so much for joining me again. And so today we'll be making this beautiful beaded phone pouch or purse. Look at how pretty it looks like. Anyone can make this. It's very simple and easy to make, and now we'll walk you through step by step on how to make this. Let's get started, and thank you all for your love and support. On my table here, I have 8mm pearls. That's what I'll be using, okay? This is 8mm pearls that I'll be using, but feel free to use your own bead or colors, all right? Now I have my fishing line or monofilament. That's how it's called. This is the thickness of the line, 50-pound fishing line or monofilament. And let's get started. So now I'm going to start with 4 bead, okay? I'll be putting this 4 bead on my line. So I cut my line like my wingspan, okay? And I'm going to put this 4 bead on my line. I'm going to string all these 4 bead on my line. Like this. And I'm going to hold the last one. And I'll cross the other end of my line into it and pull. Hold both ends together to make sure the line is equal and straight. All right, now I have one done. This is how it's looking like. Now my line split into 2, left and right. So on each side of my line, the left and the right, I'm going to put one bead on each line, okay? Then we cross into the third one and pull. I put one on the right, one on the left, like this. I'm going to cross into the third one and pull. So cross both ends of the line into this one, like this, pull down. Again, we are going to do the same again. My right and the left line, I'm going to add one on each side of the line, the left and the right, like this, okay? Put one on each side of the line, like this. Then I'm going to cross both ends of my line into the third one. Cross both ends of my line into this one and pull down, like this. This is how the weave is looking like. This is a simple right angle weave that we are making. So on each side of my line again, I add one bead on each side of my line, the left and the right. I'm going to cross both ends into the third one and pull. Cross, pull down. And this is how the weave is looking like. And I'm going to continue to make 8 of it. So continue to make 8, all right? This is my 8 that I make. And this is how it's looking like. So on this 8, I'm going to turn to make 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all right? Now, on my right line, this line, okay, I'm going to add 3 bead on the line. I add all these 3 bead on my line, like this. This is my right line. I hold the last one and cross the left side of my line into it and pull down. And this is how it's looking like. This way, my line turn on the side, and I'm going to weave, start a new row, all right? Let me turn it to my side. Now, my left line, I add 3 bead to my left line. Add 3 bead to the left line like this. Hold the last one and cross the right line into it. Pull down. Now my right line into the next bead. I pull through the next bead. My left line, I add 2 bead to my left line. Cross with the right line and pull. This is how it's looking like. Right line again into the next bead. Pull through the next bead. I add 2 bead to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull. My right line again into the next bead. Pull through the next bead. And now my left line, I add 2 bead to my left line, cross with the right line and pull. And this is how the weave is looking like. We are going to repeat the same again into the next bead. So I pull my right line into the next bead, all right? Pull through the next bead. Now I add 2 beads to my left line, cross with the right line and pull. And now we are going to continue to the end. This is how it's looking like. So I'm going to repeat this to the end. And now I'm about to complete this row. I'm going to go through the last bead over here. And on the same line, I add 2 beads. I add 2 beads to the same line, okay? That's the right line. Cross with the left line and pull. So you see the line turn on the side again, and we will start a new row. Now on my left line again, I add 3 beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull. Now I'm going to pull my right line again into the next bead. Pull through the next bead, and on the left line, I add 2 beads to the left line. Cross with the right line, pull down. I'm going to pull again my right line into the next bead. Pull the right line into the next bead, and on the left line, add 2 beads. Hold the last one, cross the right line into it, and pull. Okay, my right line again into the next bead. Add 2 beads to the left line. Hold the last bead, cross with the right line, and pull down. Into the next bead. I add 2 beads to the left line. I cross with the right line and pull. Now I'm going to repeat the same into the next bead. Okay, go through the next bead and add 2 beads to the other line, which is the left line. Cross with the right line and pull. Into the next bead. I add 2 beads to the left line. I hold the last bead, cross with the right line and pull. Into the next bead again. Add 2 beads to the left line, cross with the right line and pull down. Now I'm going to pull through the last bead, okay? And the same line I pull through the bead, this line I add 2 beads to it. Add 2 beads to the right line and then cross with the left line and pull like this. See how the line turn on the side? Now we will start a new row again. Okay, my line is here. Flip it over to my side. Then it will be easy for me to weave. Now again, I add 3 beads to start with. I add all 3 beads to the left line. Hold the last one, cross with the right line and pull. My right line again into the next bead. I pull through the next bead and I add 2 beads again to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull. And this is how our weave is looking like, okay? This is very simple and easy to, anybody can make this. This is simple weave, a right angle weave. So we are going to continue. You see, we started the 4th row. We are going to complete 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make it long 15 times, okay? So I'm going to complete this and make it 15 times. So continue to make yours and I'll meet you back here. This is mine. I completed mine. This is a simple weave. This is how it's looking like, okay? I made it 15 times, 15 rows, okay? And now this is 9 by 15. 9 by 15. And if you make this, you have to make it again, okay? This is the second one I made, and we are going to put this together to make the pouch, okay? Make 2. If you make the first one, make 2. Let me show you how we put this together. Now this is where my line is, in this bead, okay? My line is in this edge bead over here, and on my line I'm going to add 1 bead to my left line. I'm going to hold the other piece, go through the same bead on the opposite side. All right, the same bead on the opposite piece. So here's 1 bead. I take 1 bead, put it on the line, cross, and pull down. Now I'm going to put my right line into the next bead on this piece, the left into the next bead on the other piece. Alright, now I take one bead, cross both ends of my line into it, and pull down like this. Now my right into the next, left into the next bead. Pull through the next bead, my left line into the next bead. Alright, now I take one bead, cross both ends of my line into it, and pull down. Cross, hold both ends together, and pull down. Alright, now again, I'm going to pull my right line into the next bead, pull through the next piece over here, the edge bead. We are using the edge bead. Now the left line into the next bead on the other piece. Alright, now I take one bead, crisscross both ends of my line into it like this, hold both ends together and pull down. And this is what we are going to repeat to the end. Going to go through both pieces, take one bead, cross both ends of the line into it, pull down. So repeat this until you complete. Alright, let's go ahead and close this piece. Look at how pretty this mat look like. So if you done, you too, you have the same thing I have over here. Very, very beautiful. We're going to fold it together like this, and we are going to close the rest of the edges. Alright, either way too, you can make it white like this and then fold it together and close it. But for the sake of the beginners, I made it piece by piece so they can know their counts that they are going to work with. Alright, so let's continue to close the edge like this. Okay, this is where we stop, and we are going to continue. Now I'm going to hold it like this. So my right line, okay, my right line into the next bead, my left into the next bead. Okay, pull through the next bead into the next bead. Now take one bead, cross both ends of the line into it, and pull down. My right line into the next bead again, my left into the next bead. I'm going to take one bead, cross both ends of my line into it, and pull down like this. Again, I'm going to repeat this one more time. Put the right line into the next bead. I take one bead, cross both ends of my line into it, and pull. And this is how it's looking like. Let's continue round the edge until we close it. So this place is going to be open because that is where the phone is going to go through. Alright, so we are going to close it up to this end. If you complete, this is what you have. Okay, I'm done with mine, and this is how it's looking like. What we are going to continue to do now is to make a closure on it. Alright, we are going to continue to weave at the edge. This is my line. I'm going to pull through this bead. Okay, pull through this bead, and I add 3 beads to my line. I cross with my right line and pull. We are starting a new row. We are going to make a little flap on this pouch or phone bag. I'm going to pull through the next bead, and I add 2 beads to my left line, cross with the right line, and pull. Okay, the same weave we use, we are going to repeat the same weave over here. We are just continuing to make it. So I pull through the next bead, and I add 2 beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull. I'm just going to repeat the same to the end. Alright, so I pull my right line into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross, and pull. I pull my right line again into the next bead. add 2 beads to my left line, I cross and pull. Okay, now I add 2 beads to my left line again, cross and pull down. I'm going to pull through the last bead at the end. All right, now the same line, that's my right line, I add 2 beads to it, cross with my left line and pull. That way my line turn on the side, then I start a new row. So on the right line again, I add 3 beads to start with, like this. I go through the next bead with the right line, I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull down. Into the next bead, I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull. Into the next bead again, I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull down. We are going to continue to the end. All right, now I'm starting a new row. I add 3 beads to start, cross with the right line and pull down. It's the same weave, okay? We are using the same weave throughout the entire weave. All right, now I start a new row. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross with my right line and pull. I'm going to pull through the next bead again. All right, then I'll add 2 beads to my left line and cross. This is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful. 1, 2, 3. I made 3 rows. I'm going to complete to make 5 rows. Okay, I'm going to make it 5 rows. And this is how it's looking like. This is my 5 row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I make 5 rows. Let's continue. Now I'm going to continue. This is where my line is. My line is here. Okay, we are going to continue to the end. Now I'm going to start, ignore the first one and start in the second bead, this one. Now we are going to continue and end in this bead, okay, not the last one. So ignore the first bead and start in the second one. I'm starting with 3 beads. I'm going to pull my right line into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull into the next bead again. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line, I cross and pull. Go into the next bead again, 2 beads to the left line, cross and pull down. Into the next bead, add 2 beads to the left line, cross and pull. And this is the last bead we are going to go to. We are going to leave the last one and go through this one. All right, this is the last bead we are going to stop. So the same line, I pull through the bead, I add 2 beads to it like this. I cross with my left line and pull. And this is how it's looking like. Now I'm going to work my way again into the next bead. I'm going to ignore the first and come through the second bead. All right, we are going to start in the second bead. So I'm going to work my way into the second bead. I'm going to work my way through the bead and enter the second bead. All right, I'm going to hold the other line, work my way through the bead into the second bead. Like this. And now we are going to start a new row. So this is where my line, I ignore the first and start in the second bead. All right, so I'm going to weave and stop in this bead. So we are going to repeat until we go to the end. All right, so I start with 3 beads. So the same way we are going to weave like how we weave the first and the second line. All right, now I pull through the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull down into the next bead. Add 2 beads to the left line, cross with the right line and pull into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull down. So now again I'm going to start in this bead, this one. All right, That is how we are going to repeat the weave until we come to the end. All right, I'm just working my way with the line to come to the next bead, like that. Start with 3, pull down into the next bead. Now I'm going to go through the next bead again. I add 2 beads to my right line, cross and pull. So now this is how the edge is looking like. I'm going to come to the middle. All right, I'm going to work my way and come to the middle bead. Work my way with the line through the bead, just to come through the middle bead, like this. For the other one, come through the middle bead. And this is how your line should look in the middle bead. If you come to the middle bead, or if you have a fresh new line, just pull through the middle bead and continue. So now I'm adding 3 beads to my line, like this. Add 3 beads to the line and cross the last one and pull. And this is how we have the tip of the bag. So now I'm going to weave the rest of the line into the bead. Sure the lines are secured enough before I trim it off. And this is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful. So if you close it, this is how it's going to look like. This is the shape and the flap on it. We are going to put a bead over there to lock it. All right, and this is how it's looking like. Very pretty, very beautiful. Now we are going to make a loop at the end. Okay, this last bead, I'm going to pull my line through the last bead. This is the tip, this one. Okay, I pull my line through it, and I'm going to string 5 bead on each side of my line, like this. This is 5, and this side I put 5. Okay, now this is a 6mm gold bead that I'm using. I'm going to go through just to reinforce. I'm going to go round into this bead to reinforce. Okay, make sure it's well strong. This is how it's looking. I'm going to work my way with the line so I can have both lines together and tie. So I'm weaving through the bead, have both ends of my line together and tie. All right, that's how you secure your weave so the lines cannot easily slip out or unravel. All right, so I'm just tying a knot over here, and the rest of the line I'll weave it back into the bead before I trim it off. I'm going to weave it back before I trim it off. All right, just trimmed off. If you have scissors, nail cutter, anything that will cut your line. Okay, now that I'm done making the loop, this is where we're going to put our bead. Okay, our bead is going to put position over here. I'm going to use my 16mm position over there so we can make a hook on it. I'm going to take 6mm metallic bead, add to my line like this, and I'm going to hold both ends of the line and pull through the bead. All right, you can use button, you can use whatever you want, you have. Okay, now like this, and this is the spot we are going to position our bead. All right, that is where we are going to put it. I'm going to split the line. All right, this is where we are going to put it, like this. Make sure you position and measure. All right, measure in the middle. So now what I'm going to do, we are going to put the right line into this bead. Okay, pull through it like this. And now on the other line, this line, okay, the left side, I'm going to turn this way. This is the bead, these 2 beads, that is what we are using. All right, this is the 4 bead we are using in the middle. I'm going to come this way, the opposite way. Come this way like this into the bead, the opposite way. Now hold both ends and pull, and this bead is just going to land in the middle as we want it. like this. All right, this is how it's looking like. Very beautiful. What I'm going to do, I'm going to weave the rest of the line back into the bead and come together with my both lines and tie. All right, like this. I'm going to weave this line into the bead, and I'm going to hold the other one and weave through the bead to meet the first line, so I can have both of them and tie. All right, I want to have these lines both together over here, tie, and then I can trim off. And there you have it. This is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful. Let's close it on it. It's very tight and nice. See, we are done with our pouch, and the next thing we are going to do is to make a long strap on it. Look at how pretty it looks like. We are going to make a strap from here and close around. All right, so I want you to get a long line, measure it on your body, and then make it long as you want on your waist, on your side. So this is the bead I'm going to put the line through. All right, make sure you get your line very long so you don't come short of it. All right, now I'm going to add these two 6mm pearls on each side of my line like this, and I'm going to hold both lines and tie, and like this. Okay, I add 6mm. If you don't have 6mm, just use the bead that you're using. All right, you don't have to worry about that. I drop it, and then I'm making a knot in the middle, so I tie. Okay, tie, and tie hard, nice and neat. So hold both ends of the line together like this, and now we are going to start stringing our bead on the line. Just going to string and make it long. So make yours long as you like. Yeah, and measure it on your body. All right, I'm just going to string this bead on the line, make it very long. Okay, like this. Start stringing like this on a line. Now let's continue. So start stringing yours, and I'll do mine off camera, and I'll come back and meet you here. This is how far I've done already. I'm going to continue to make a long strap. All right, you can make it short like this if you like and hook it on the side, or you can continue if you want a cross body purse or bag. You can continue to make it. So this is how it's looking like. This is mine. The strap, make yours very long. Okay, so continue to make your strap very long to your desired length, like how you want it. Okay, so I'm going to open my lines. I'm going to put again the 6mm bead on each side of my line like this. Like this. Okay, and I'm going to pull through the same bead on the other side. This is how it's looking like, but make your strap very long. Okay, for you, how you want it. So I'm going to pull through this bead over here, crisscross the lines in it like this, and pull and pull tight. All right, now I'm going to weave my line into this 4 bead over here to join the first one, then I can tie like this. I'm going to hold both ends. This one I have to pull through this bead, pull through the bead. I just want to have both ends of my line together so I can tie. Okay, then hold and tie. Tie nice and neat in between the bead and not on the bead. All right, like like this. And the rest of the line, I weave it back into the bead. Make sure it's well secured before I trim it off. I'm just going to trim these hanging lines off, my loose lines off. And there you have it. We are done with our pouch. Our phone pouch is done. Our phone pouch, phone purse. You can use it as a coin purse too. This is beautiful. It has a closure. You can secure your phone in it and hang it on your body. You can put your car keys in it too. It can fit in. Very beautiful. Look at how pretty it looks like. You can open it like this, and it's easy to close. This is the inside of it. Your phone can fit in it like this. You close it to secure your phone. Very beautiful. I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I hope you make one for yourself. I appreciate all of you for your love and support. Thank you again for watching. I thank you for your time, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also turn on your notifications for new videos that I'll be uploading so you don't miss on it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye! Look at the beauty of this beaded phone pouch or phone bag, if you can call it. Very pretty, very beautiful. And I hope you make one for yourself. Thank you again for watching. Bye!